Take a look at 18.
What do you want to know?
That's so you don't put 18 and under.
I think they just wanted to know how to look for it.
Have a look and see. I don't know. Trying to do like a thing. ID card. Oh no, I got my thing.
As an acropolis, the Mycenaean acropolis, like in Mycenae or in Athens and several other acropolises in Greece. And it was actually the residence of the king. At that time, all action was taking place within, indoors in other words, but within king's palace, where there is in the center a hearth, a stia, as we say, the throne. This was a room, a major room right there. You'll see that in palaces. When you visit, of course, the Minoan palace is different. It's not like the Mycenaean. So this was the Mycenaean Acropolis. It had a major building called Megaron. So this period ends with the end of the second millennium BC, around 1180, 1100 BC, with the Dorian invasion. The new tribes from north, let's say, invading Greece, and, at the same time, kingship is abolished. No more, palaces or any such a thing that will exist afterwards. The only, I would say, system with a king was in Sparta, the city of Sparta. Maybe that sounds a bit awkward, but it's true. It survived to the beginning, of the Roman era. That was the end. So this will become a sanctuary as 99% became all ancient palaces, let's say, or sanctuaries, the residential areas of Acropolises became sanctuaries. Now we have the Olympic deities, goddesses, gods will be worshipped, temples will be built, stores around, providing space, let's say, to the pilgrims. Monumental gateways, named Propylea. The place itself started, simply with just one building. If you look at this drawing here, this is how it looked in the 6th century BC when Cleopulos, a Lindian, the founder of the temple and the founder of the city-state, and the one who ruled Lindos democratically for 40 years, as we know historically. The second building that was built outside the temple and actually towards the entranceway was the Propylea, and the Propylea meaning the gateway. If you look at this drawing up there, the upper one, you'll see how it looked around the 5th century BC. Very simple. And then we come to this. Another century later, so you see how it was fully developed in the year 300 BC. The sanctuary of Lindos, the Lindos sanctuary. The topmost point is the temple, the Propylea, and a monumental corridor here, colonnaded corridor, in Greek called Stoa, S-T-O-A. Ample space for the pilgrims, and of course we're talking about the period when Rhodes, the city of Rhodes, was, the city, let's say. It was 2 sanctuaries and so many harbors and so on that surpassed all the other, small settlements and cities. But still, this place will be, let's say, probably, the most important as a sanctuary because of the goddess Athena, being always, Athena's center and Athena's pilgrimage. That's why. The material is all sandstone material, and later on in this area was added one more structure, which you see right here, a small building, was dedicated to Octavius Augustus, the Roman emperor, who founded the Roman Empire a few years before Christ's era, about 10 or 14 BC. In the later years, the Acropolis of Lindos would be used by the Lindians, but only with one temple, or now not an ancient temple, but a church dedicated to St. John the Baptist. The later church of John the Baptist, the Byzantine, not the early Christian, the Byzantine of the 13th century, still exists up there. I don't have it here. In a decent state, at least the eastern facade. And much later, around the 15th century, the end of the early 15th century, what you see up there, these structures were added as the last ones to be the administrative building, first of all, the center for the person in charge, a knight appointed by the Grand Master of Rhodes, the man in charge of the Dodecanese Islands, who ruled, let's say, the Dodecanese Islands from the city of Rhodes, from the palace, that we'll see the palace when we return to the city later on, but not visiting. We'll see it from outside. So to remember, we're talking about Europeans. We're talking about, 7 ethnic groups from all over Europe, settled here in early 14th century and continued for 213 years, to the time when they departed after the capture of the city by the Ottomans in 1522 actually. So Grand Master of Bison appointed a knight here. As you can see up there, there are 2 emblems, okay? The one, both of them with a single cross, but the one to the right is slightly different, and that was Pierre Aubisson's, emblem, or coat of arms, if you like, before becoming a cardinal, because after that we have cardinal's hat, and this changes. So definitely the date of that is the middle 15th century. The middle 15th century. I see now being less crowded the steps. Let's go up now.